All right, we are back again. Another episode of Knicks Morning Coffee. So what we're going to talk about today, Joey, we're going to talk about the coaches' interviews with some of the players. We're going to talk about our offensive players, and then we're going to talk about who we let go or keep. I just do a blank for a second because I was thinking about something else. Before we do too, I want to answer a comment from last week who I was going back and forth with one of the listeners, Brian G. And it was about, why would the Knicks have taken on a bad contract, and then and sorry, Brian, too, because I really couldn't tell if you was for or against, but my theory of it from maybe a coach's standpoint is that they might have felt we don't have a superstar, a future superstar on the roster. And then by taking on that contract, when you're ready to get another guy, 2 years from now or whatever it is, our players we got, they're going to have to learn how to play in that role, off of a superstar. So to that degree, some of it makes sense, even though you are still developing the young guys. But some of that do make sense. If you really don't think there's a Hall of Fame type player on the roster that you can develop, then yeah, it'd be good this year for them to learn how to play off one. Sort of like Miami did when they brought in Jimmy Butler. Their role players were already ready to step in and do what they got to do. So anytime somebody sends us a comment, especially at this stage now that we are, in our broadcasts, is that we can answer all of them, and we do try to answer all of them. So we appreciate it. All right, next, Joey, let me ask you, what you, before we get into this, what do you think about the whole thing about what the Knicks did do in terms of not going after the big contract?
I think what they did was great because, I'm all for picking up players and pieces that we need, but not unnecessary players for like the time being. You know what I mean? What happened if they did get Chris Paul and Melo? Then everybody would have been complaining that the contracts was too big. Yeah. Why did you bring back Melo? And y'all know how I feel about that. So I'd rather just stick with the young guys and see what's up, because you don't even know if they superstars yet.
Yeah.
RJ.Barrett's second year?
Yeah.
Obi Toppin's first. Mitchell Robinson was his second, third year?
Going in third. Yeah.
Third. The only person that we just unsure about is Kevin Knox. So I feel like we good. I feel like where we at right now, I don't even care about picking up nobody else. Let's just see what happens.
Well, at least, too, and at least now, too, we know that Westbrook is off the table. Yeah. Wall is off the table. So those were the two main big contracts that they could have picked up. So at least we know now that those guys are off the table. And then I still do think something is going to happen, though. Because we still got $18 million. And if they decide to do something with Randall, his $18 to $19 million. But if they was to stand pat right now, then, that's a whole nother ball game. Especially when they get to next week, when we know whatever team we have next week is probably the team we're going into the season with. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the press conferences the Knicks had with the coaches and some of the players. And, I wasn't shocked to hear Thibodeau say he had a hand in free agency, which is all you could ask for. I'm pretty sure he probably did want the star. Maybe one of the reasons they was going after the star because he probably let them know in their meetings that, he want to win. So how you going to win without a go-to player? But he did say that he was satisfied with the players that we had. Now, was that the right thing to say, or do he really mean that?
Let's take a second to look. Really, this year, around these like the draft times and all that, they will be bombing the Knicks for stupid moves. They will be bombing the Knicks for not getting anybody. I don't really see that this year. Because who was you really going to get? They know the money's low. They know the players that are coming out this draft is like, you don't know. Now, what happens if this draft ends up having superstars for the future? Well, you still don't know. Like a Zion don't come around all the time. You know what I mean? Most of the time we getting Steph Curry's. To be honest, like we getting players that you don't even know they're going to be good. They getting drafted
developed to be good.
Yeah, so you don't even know what you're getting. I really feel like in my heart, RJ Barrett, Robinson, And I think they're gonna be good. Like something telling me, together they're gonna be good.
Yeah, they should give his team a chance to work. Now the devil's advocate side is, with all these teams that supposedly didn't have money, how was they able to swing all these big deals? Because guys got paid. So that's the thing I want to see in the future. And I don't really care about right now because the management, I think we got a good management and they knew. But what I do want to see in the future is teams like the Lakers had $0, but able to come away better after winning the championship. Teams that had no money maneuvered. And that's what the GM though thing is. A GM got to get out there and they got to maneuver. You got to kick rocks and make something happen.
I told you about the Lakers. We know Schroeder to be better than what the media think he is, because he's just not talked about. I think we talk about the GM. I think he understands what we see, because I think he really looks at it like how a fan looks at it. Like, yeah, I take Schroeder. Like,
well, yeah, shoot.
But the NBA don't look at it like that. They look at numbers on the board. They look at stats and statistics. They're not looking at the player when you got to face up against them. They're not looking at that. We look at that.
Yeah, because players know. Yeah, players know. LeBron and them know.
So
listen,
over the years, and I do give him that credit, he do pick up the players we like, even though some of them is like a Ray Allen, like stuff like that. Like, you already know. But Schroeder, deep down, like, yeah, that's a good pickup. Because we would have got him, we'd have been like, yeah, that's a good pickup. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Even though he said I'm starting right away, but he's gonna realize one thing: you might start, but that ball ain't gonna be in your hand once LeBron get it and then AD get it. All right, another thing the coach talked about was wanting to win now while developing, and that's something that we always talk about too. Mm-hmm. And this is something too right now that I'm just big on because, again, I'm starting to say this every week, getting old, how long I've been a diehard Knicks fan. Mm. And then it's getting to the point now where every time it's next year. Mm. So, yeah, I want RJ to be who RJ's supposed to be. I want Mitch to be who he's supposed to be. But I want to try to win every game we go out there and play. Mm. And then we're going to look past all these big names that's coming out of the draft. We ain't there yet. Mm. It's nice to talk about them right now a little bit. But we ain't there yet. Let's just keep playing hard. And if that's what coach want to do, I'm down for that 100%. Mm. Every time we go out there, let's try to put the ball in the hole and let's try to win some games. Because now you do have some knockdown shooters. Mm. So to me, Tibbs, he's not giving up the whole ship on this rebuilding plan. Mm. Yeah, rebuild, but listen, we trying to win. Okay, and also he said players have to earn their minutes. Mm. Now this is where it's going to get tricky because the Knicks going to have everybody on their roster, even as it stands right now, would deserve to play. I mean, you think about our roster. Yeah. I'm saying you can't pull one out and say, okay, he'll just be on the team, so he'd be 12th man.
Right now, I notice Knox has a starting spot, but I don't think he deserves.
You think so?
That spot? No.
You think he gonna walk into that spot?
I don't know. I said right now they got Knox. If you notice, all the blogs stuff, they got Knox starting, but I don't think he deserved that spot.
I mean, you don't deserve it yet. Now you're going to see if you. I wouldn't mind not starting, but I just think his role got to be defined. Put him out, put him on the wing, and let him be a sniper.
Even in his media, he don't look like he deserves a starting spot.
Did you see his?
No, it's not like Frank Ntilikina, and I'm looking at his working out, and he looked like he ready.
Oh no! So you didn't see Knox's?
No, I didn't see Knox.
No, he said I want to start.
So that might have been the fire right there.
And what I did like about his interview, and there's a few of them I like, but what I like about Knox's interview, he interviewed with confidence. Mm. We'll see about his game on the court, but you could see the growth in the maturity in the way he's talking about the game. He's not hunched over with his head down like he was in the past. He talking like he want to be out there, and you new guys, y'all gonna come in here and have to take my spot. So even though he didn't really start for us that much last year, I enjoyed that, about Knox and that confidence. Now, I was never really a big fan of Doc Rivers' son, but I mean, he blew me away with his confidence.
Well, yeah, I'm not a fan of him, but I don't think he hurt you. I think he's it
wasn't his game. It was him.
Yeah, I don't think he's not really a player that you want to follow. if anything. He's not like J.R. Smith.
Yeah, well, on our team though, he probably gonna be like, because he got that edge, and he really was putting it out there when he was talking about what he want to bring to the team and how he want to be a part of help changing the culture. Now that's here nor there next year.
Well,
but for this year,
like that, he ain't no punk neither.
Right, and he gonna bring it. So that's kind of like that New York cliche that he gonna bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna back down from nobody. And I'm gonna talk junk to everybody. So I like that part, and then he can hit a shot. So, but I like that cliche. I like what Quigley was saying. What he gonna bring to the table. Like y'all already know.
Listen, I don't know much about him, but I think y'all are sleeping on him.
I don't think nobody's sleeping on him.
Nah, I be seeing comments and stuff in the media where they like kind of like he's overrated and stuff like that. Maybe not. Maybe not, because I would have been like, they would have been bashing on the Knicks if they felt like they made a wrong move. And the last time they bashed on the Knicks for thinking they made a wrong move was Porzingis. And this year they ain't saying nothing, because I think they know.
We picked him later.
Yeah, but they still like there's probably other better players, but who?
I mean, but that's everybody gonna have to be able to, because look at how Obi felt to us. You trying to tell me that there were 7 other better players than Obi in the draft? Some teams went on need. We're gonna get to Obi because he's definitely ready. Okay, and leading to that, he talked about the potential of Obi and Quickly. Now he did seem kind of high on Obi. Now that part to me, maybe I missed it if somebody else was watching his interview. He didn't really seem overly blown away. Like if you got Zion on your team, you're the coach, and you just like, okay, I got to do X, Y, Z. So he seems like he's real confident and comfortable of having Obi, probably because of his age. But he didn't really seem like he was blown away, by Obi. But when practice starts,
yeah, I feel like Obi's in wild.
Yeah, I think
he's in wild because remember he's New York. That's like if I would have made it to the NBA, I'd have been like, if I'd have made it to the Knicks in the NBA, knowing how much I'm a Knicks fan, my game would have been over for shit.
All right, so let's jump down to. Okay, we know we got a defensive team, but let's jump down to where are the points going to come from? So, okay, we know Obi can pretty much score. To me, anywhere on the court, he's going to be a threat to score. So, how you use him now will probably dictate the offense of some of the other players. Even though we do have some scoring guard-oriented players, because Burt and Quigley, starting or not, are going to give you steady points, coming off the bench.
I'm going to say it now. I think we're going to look like the Clippers. When Chris Paul was throwing the lobs to Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan and you get out. I think that's what we're going to look like now. Yeah, we're going to get some of that. I think it's going to be Lob City and open threes.
Yeah. Well, the open threes probably going to come
from somebody. So I don't know now if it's going to be a lot of posting or is there going to be a lot of like just taking it to the hole. I'm not sure of that. But I know there's going to be a lot of alleys.
I can tell you now there ain't going to be a lot of posting, even though it should be some dump downs, Yeah, but I know it's going to be a lot of posting.
It's going to be a lot of alleys thrown.
So then RJ and Mitch. Okay, we all know RJ's potential, right? Who could be the dark horse in this whole thing. Like RJ could make this whole thing turn around like that. If his head is in the game and he grown that way. And then according to his interview he had, like he said he was pissed that he didn't make all rookie first team.
Yeah, because he should have.
Like, yeah, and and he said I don't see why I shouldn't. But I hope it don't bother him to the point where he just try to go out and prove, I can score 30 every night. Like, put it in your game because the other players know. Sometimes the writers, you can't go by them.
But we knew, what was that, 2 years? We knew that he wasn't getting the situation that he wanted. He was playing with the coach wanted. I want to speak on coaches after this, too.
Yeah. All right, so how about Knox? Because Knox is going to be, because he's maturing, his body's maturing. And it seems like he's maturing. And I think Knox's game is mental because he got all the tools that it take to be a great offensive player. He's just not putting it all together. And sometimes he might be a late bloomer, but because he has the tools, and he definitely got the leaping ability, he got the force, it's just something about, I don't know, like he's like a freight train. Once he starts tackling downhill, it's like that's what he has to do. So until he get, but then that's where the stop and pop come in.
Yeah,
and that's why I think too right now with Knox, because he's long, we can use him as a 3-point sniper. Like first set him up in the corner or somewhere in outs, kick outs, or rotate the ball to him, let him just knock down threes. Like let that be his Novak role until he's ready. Like he'll dictate as the game goes on,
and that's why
when he's ready to make a move.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to change what we got now, kind of, because I kind of want to see what they can do on their own. Because you notice when they in the G League, they was running rampant. You know what I mean?
G League is like street ball. Yeah,
it's like street ball, but they was comfortable. Knox was looking like he was going to be top 5, and then he'll show spurts of that with RJ in the game. Now, if RJ comes down and there's no alley to be thrown, and he kick it over to Knox, and Knox can hit that 3 consistently, and then take it to the hole if they start playing him up on the 3, he there.
And if you're going by G League, then you got to start Iggy at the 5. You're going by G League.
Well, Iggy, they didn't give him no time.
No, I'm just saying, if you're going by what they do in the G League, then Iggy would be our 3, because he do everything in the G League. But, yeah.
I mean, I feel like if they give him time, now I'm unsure, like, why they don't give him time. Because if he's not doing that stuff that he was doing in the G League, I don't know. Because Clean Anthony early, he ain't do none of that stuff that he was doing in the G League. So, but Knox was showing that he can do it.
No, Knox can. Like, Knox can do it.
The only thing Knox had, he had that, I call that Iman Shumpert. Like, you missing your dunks, you overly playing, you look like on the court, look like you thinking too much.
Well, because you don't know if you're supposed to pass it or if you're supposed to shoot it, because of the other person on the team.
Then,
so
there's certain players you're comfortable with, and he's just doing his thing. But I blame that on the Knicks. So,
one of the good things about this is all these players. I think a lot of them came up together through AAU. So a lot of these players, they know each other. Like they like the 1 and 2 years and 3 years apart. They've all come across each other, so much. But then I'm looking at too. I think this is the year that Mitch can give us some offense besides the dunks. Because I see Mitch. Okay, we know that if he had to pop out from his videos, but even in your videos, even if you piece them together, he are hitting some. So if he got to pop out when Obi's there, I ain't saying put him out in the corner waiting for the ball, but the game dictates that you got to pop out, and he pop out and get it. He could look like he could knock it down. So, but I would like to see Mitch down low, get some touches down low, because he's left hand, right hand. He can make shots with both. So his footwork is better than decent. So throw him the ball down low, 5-6 feet in, and just let him go to work, because his instincts is there. Like, he's creative on instincts that if he gets the ball and try to make a move and you there, he'll cut back. He'll spin back the other way and get the shot off, because and he jumps high and he's 7'1". So I think that's a weapon that is not being utilized. Everybody's talking about post up. Yeah, he's gonna learn that, because a lot of big guys don't know how to post up, because throughout their life, nobody else is their size. So we just get the ball, turn, shoot it, or get the ball, turn, dunk it. So when by the time they get to the NBA, now every time you play, there's 2 or 3 people your size, and now you got no moves.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna be 2 people that's Mitchell Robinson or Obi Toppin.
No, I mean, you got teams like LA, and you got teams that got too big.
LA like
it's
one.
They got centers that start. You got to count. Who's it? LeBron. You still got to count like how big he is.
Yeah, that's
Davis. You got to count, and their center.
And I mean, like, even like, I feel like the Timberwolves gonna have a hard time. Only Karl Anthony Towns over there. Big. I'm talking about, like, you got Mitchell Robinson and like that's like Twin Towers down there.
No, not really. I mean, other teams
Obi,
got that, because Obi's only like 6'9".
Yeah, I don't really know how tall he is.
He plays bigger, but yeah, he's not really that 6'9", 6'10", but he plays bigger. But again, throw the ball down there to him as it's rotating around and let him create it. And if he can't create it, let him dish it back out. But that's just a weapon. Like, the city just to wait for him just to be able to get the ball and drop step. You wasting time right now. Learn that. You got Kenny Payne. Learn that in practice. But in the meantime, give me the ball. Like, let me create my shot and shots for other people too. Because I know he can, because if nothing else, he'll be able to go over the top on people. So the Knicks got, the offense is actually in there, depending on how it's used. And I think picking up Burke, I think is going to be a big blessing in disguise. All right, so who do we keep? Okay, who do we let go? We almost got like 18 players.
Yeah, I was trying to see that the other day.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah, it's almost like 18 players on the roster.
Some of them guards,
so
you got to let go probably.
Well, everybody can't play. So let's just start out first with Obi, RJ, and Mitch. We're going to assume they ain't going nowhere, right? So so they're playing. And then the other part, too, of who we keep and who we let go, a rotation is still going to have to be set. Yeah, you can still find your way, but we don't want to do what Fizdale was forced to do, is try to just keep, shuffling people in and out. We don't want to be getting into that. Let guys get into a rotation and learn their roles. And then, okay, Julius Randle and Knox. Knox, we know, probably going to be here unless some crazy trade happens this week. Randle, we don't know. But for the sake of argument, Randle is here. So if Randle is here, and I'm pretty sure, okay, he's a veteran to Thibodeau, but there's no way on God's earth right now, Thibodeau, you telling me, even if he beats him out, that's the one position that even if Randle beats him out in training camp, no, that spot has got to go to Obi. Not even a matter of where he was picked, just a matter of the skill set that he brings to the table. And then now you got 15, 20 points, with Randle coming off the bench. Okay, Frank. All right, Frank. I obviously say we keep him?
Yeah, I want to keep him.
Yeah, because he could defend three positions, and he's homegrown.
It might sound crazy, because I like Dennis Smith Jr. too, but I still rather keep Frank.
Yeah, that's the funny with me with Dennis Smith Jr.
Because I really feel like he was just going through something, and he's gonna play better. Even though he's not that kind of guard, but I feel like we need at least one of those kind of guards that's gonna be like, I'm scoring first.
Well, that's actually his problem. That his mindset is that I'm scoring first. So he flies down court, and I do like Dennis Smith Jr., but he flies down court, right? Because he's not looking, and then all of a sudden the defense shifts, and now he's kind of stuck. He's stuck. And he don't know where nobody's at. So that's the sign of a guard, who have no control of the team.
Well, yeah. So what I'm saying is, we need one like that. Only because remember he didn't really play with the team. He wasn't mentally there.
Yeah.
Because he did it for another team. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be able to do it with the team we're gonna have now. Because they're gonna be flying down court too, and they're gonna get there. They're gonna get open. You know what I mean? And then if he watched tape and they see that Obi and Mitch was open to throw that alley, they're going to tell him, why you ain't throw that alley? And I feel like he's going to feel that. So, and with Austin Rivers there, Alfred Payton there, I know. But Frank, to me, has it more under control, and he's not going to just let stuff happen. There's a couple of times where I could say that Frank damn near saved the game by himself. Because of his defense and his hustle and getting the dirty plays. So I'd rather just keep that on your bench.
All right, so let me just throw this at you then. And then you tell me.
And if he start hitting the shot, because it look like he's working on his shot. So
Frank can shoot.
No, he can shoot, but what I'm saying is
he got to take more.
I'm talking about he's working on consistency. So the fact that he's even knowing he got to work on consistency, he's getting to the hole regardless. And then he caught that dunk, and I don't know what happened. Remember, he caught that one dunk on somebody, and it's almost he said, "Oh, they soft."
Yeah, but that's in Frank's head though. Yeah. That's not nothing. So something like that with Frank, that's in that situation. A coach can't really do nothing for you. That's you. Like you have to. They want you to go. You have to, in your mind, take the ball and go with everything around your vision. Still open. So when somebody might not be open now, but split second from now they are open. And I can hit them. But I'm going to the basket. On my way to the basket, y'all guys pop open with, the ball is there. Now let me throw this at you. Okay, now in 2019, the Pelicans. Peyton had 5 triple-doubles in a row, right? Now, what I don't know right now if the Pelicans won all those games. So that means that Peyton, if you can get, and now this is in the Western Conference, and there's always a super guard in the Western Conference every team you play. So if Peyton can get 5 triple-doubles in a row in the Western Conference, he almost got, I think, one for us last year. So then what could be the problem with him now? Because he's capable, that means he's capable of it. You do it one time, okay, it's bound to happen. You do it 2, you do it 5 times in a row in the West. You know what I mean? That to me, that's something that needs to be looked at.
Well, one of them
being that he's back on our team.
Yeah, one of them is what I want to talk about when we're done. And the other thing was Randall was just taking up most of that time.
But he had Davis, too.
No, but Randall, it's like Alfred Payton come down court. It's like we had that play where it's like the almost goes to Randall first.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, like...
Well, that's a knock that everybody got on him, that he was only passing to Randall. But see, that's...
I'm talking about, so it wasn't even like Randall was in the flow. It's not like Alfred Payton's running the show. It's like he just going with the flow.
Yeah, he wasn't
or whatever
right for
the
that.
Scheme was for the
Nah,
Knicks.
he wasn't right for that. He was looking out for his boy that he just came over with.
Yeah, I don't even think it was that. It just, when we was watching the game... it
was that. Because somebody put it up there. So I can't remember which show I was looking at early in the week. But somebody actually looked up the stats on that, on the percentage of Peyton's passes that went to Randall.
Oh, okay.
And it was in the 40th percentile.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it was like too much. It was like, yo, why you keep... It almost, if he was trying to help him, it almost hurt him. Because now the team's going to be looking at him like, he don't need to be doing all that.
Yeah. Yeah, not to jump, but last night I was watching Legion Knicks podcast. Finally, I was able to catch it live because, at the time I get back from work sometime. And I caught it live, but it was like the show was like I was sending in comments back and forth because that's how good the show was. The guy had great command of the show. And then my phone died, because I kept saying that I should call Joey so you could just watch it. But then my phone ended up dying, right when they were talking about players, interview.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch a show.
But that was a good show. Guillermo, that was an excellent show, and I'm gonna go back and rewatch it and find out what I missed too. And y'all definitely check that out. But okay, I want to get to these two right quick. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Miles Powell.
Yeah, we probably gonna keep them.
Because they're on those Exhibit 10 contracts that if you cut them, they get the $50,000 or something like that and can go to the G League. Well, Michael Kidd ain't going to no G League. You know what I mean? So, and I actually, I hope we keep him, because he's the type of guy, he can defend, at 6'6", and he's a strong 6'6". He can defend the bigger people that Frank can't. You know what I mean? Like you could put him on probably like an Anthony Davis, and he could probably defend him too, because Anthony Davis plays out on the perimeter most of the time. In those stretches. Like you could put him on LeBron, guys like that you couldn't put, Frank on. So I'm actually hoping that we keep him, and then Powell, I want to keep him because he can be instant offense, but just that where you're going to put him.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep him.
Yeah.
I really would think what's going to happen is they probably, if a trade is going to happen, we're going to probably trade more for like one person, or we
have to make room for
so that's
a combination of players. Somebody got to go. Two people got to go.
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, who's that? Murray, Spellman, who can shoot threes. I would like to keep him, but we got Knox. Even though Murray can step back and hit the three automatic, and then the other kid that we got in that trade, Jacob Evans, he's already probably being waived. But to me, even Theo Pinson that we gave the G League contract, the two-way contract. Now, to me, that could probably went to Powell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we don't need Pinson, like, because he's never going to be able. I doubt he's going to come up. I really doubt. So Powell could have been in there learning a little bit more, and that's a guard we got too for the future. So would you say you wanted to bring up what?
No, I was going to say one of these guards is going. Dennis Smith Jr.
Oh, a lot of them are going. Yeah, Dennis Smith Jr.
Frank. How many more we got? That's just point guards.
And then the worst part too is that they got to make a decision on Iggy, and you hate to have to see him go anywhere, because he's such a young, good player. But then we got Bullock, who I want to also see get a lot of time.
Yeah, Iggy really is not beating out anybody. I don't know. Like this this is the year we should know what's going on.
Yeah.
If everybody who they say they are.
And with Tibbs, he'll probably get a chance because he's scrappy. He'll probably. I think Bullock is going to play way better under Tibbs.
How many more topics we got? I want to throw this.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to throw this in there. I know there was an interview, with Paul George. Right?
Oh, yeah.
With the coaching. And we brought this up. What are the coaches and the coaching staff doing? Because everything we talk about is fine, guys. Like, everything we talk about is fine. But what are on the coach's mind?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I really wanted to bring up. Like, everything is fine, but then what's the coach going to do and what are they looking at? Because I really feel like something was lost in translation for him to even say that. I mean, yeah, he probably could have said it then, but we say that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, what was you thinking that you didn't change nothing? Like, matter of fact, for Alfred Payton to be passing it to Randall 40% of the time, what did the coaches say? Like, what did the assistant coaches say to the coach?
Yeah.
What did they say to the players? For Knox to be this fumble for this long, what did they say to Knox? What for Iggy to be on the roster and not playing, but we think he good?
Yeah.
Like, what are we not seeing that they seeing? So this year, I feel like for everybody who they say they are, and you getting paid, I want to start hearing more of what y'all doing as coaches.
Nah, this year, this year with Thibodeau and all those coaches that we got, there's always going to be a coach in somebody's ear, mainly because the coaches on the bench, they got relationships with somebody on that team. So it's easier for them to approach those guys. Because remember last year we used to say that whoever's we didn't know who was working with the guards last year, but they should be on their ear even throughout the game. The same thing with the big men. Maybe that kind of stuff was happening. Excuse me, yo. Maybe that kind of stuff was happening, and we just didn't know it, or maybe nobody's paying attention in terms of the head coach want to have all the say. But on this team, coaches are going to be in somebody's ear, and I think people are going to be held accountable. Now, because when you tie that into it, Paul George got a lot of nerve. Because now you're not getting the ball all the time for all the shots. Now it's a problem. Because we knew Kawhi was going to have that ball all the time. So now, all of a sudden, none of those coaches coach a whole game. They leave it to their star players. But he could be right with the adjustments. But you knew that when you was getting the ball was no problem. So to throw Doc under the bus like that, no coaches
and I ain't even
over coaches like that anymore.
I didn't even take that as a shot at Doc. I just wanted to know what's that whole bench doing. It'd be like 7 coaches.
No, but he took a shot. He took a shot at Doc.
Yeah, I don't think that was Doc's fault because then you should have hit your shots.
Yeah. Well, because he want to be able to hold the ball.
Paul George, to me, he a role player anyway, so I don't know what he think he is.
That was
my bad, Paul.
Coaches don't.
You a role player.
Nah, lady for Paul George.
you a role player anyway.
Coaches don't coach like that anymore, though. But they should make adjustments. Coaches coach in practice. And Doc, who was he going to tell Kawhi? Because he didn't know he was going to get fired. So what are you going to tell Kawhi? Pass the ball. Kawhi don't pass like that. Kawhi dribbles around until he gets a shot. But that won him a championship in Toronto. He did the same thing in Toronto. So I'm done because I don't really have much until I want to really see, because there was no footage of the 2 days they did probably practice. First day was media day. Then the next 2, they didn't put nothing. Even on the Knicks thing, they didn't put no footage up. So there's nothing to go on in terms of them, gelling. So, I guess we ask y'all to
listen. The Knicks fans, we can't bomb on players no more this year. I want to see what the coaches are going to do. I want to see what they're going to do. Now, talk all this stuff. It's not about the players no more because we getting every player. I feel like every player done played for the Knicks. So at this point,
but we still can bomb on the players, even though it's coming from the love side because we love the Knicks, and we want to see that growth if they're getting an opportunity. If it comes down to in the last 3 minutes of the game, and y'all playing possession by possession, we want to see y'all take care of the ball, put the ball in the hole, get some key stops. That's all we asking for. And if it results in a win, then we good money. But we want to see that. We want to see y'all mailing it in with 8 minutes to go or 6 minutes to go in the game, and y'all just mail it in. That's what we don't want to see. We want to see things happening that give you opportunities to win, and that's a combination of the coach and the players. Because if a coach gives you a play on an early part of a timeout, now they're talking about something else before you go back on the floor. You got to remember that when you go out there. And that's why you need that strong point guard to be able to remind people, pull them to the side that when you go out there, this is what we're running. All right. So next time we see y'all, hopefully there's been some footage that we can document on. And again, we appreciate, the people who do follow. We like more of the sharing the video and comment and subscribing. You, Joey?
Yeah, just hit that like.
Hit the like.
You know what I mean? We getting 100, 200 views. I need about 100, 200 likes. The more you like, the more everybody gets to see. So thank y'all. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all. Peace.